The tragic death of 26-year-old youngster Anna Sebastian Perayil due to excessive workload at Ernst & Young has brought into sharp focus issues like toxic work culture, including unsafe and exploitative work environments. In today's episode of Straight Up by edX Live with me, Seema Rajpal, we will talk about this gruesome tale. The death of this bright and full of life youngster was brought to light by her mother's letter to the chairman of EY India, Rajiv Memani. The school college topper who passed CA with distinction, Anna Sebastian, succumbed to work pressure under a toxic manager at EY, which is considered to be one of the big four accountant firms. The government of India has sprung into action and has decided to conduct an investigation into the matter. But what is work culture? How does one understand that it is rubbing them the wrong way? And more importantly, how does one get out of it? Dr. Devashish Palkar, psychiatrist, gives us his insight. So please tell us, what does toxic work culture mean and why is it preying on youngsters in particular?
10th of October every year is celebrated as World Mental Health Day. This year, 2024 World Mental Health Day theme is prioritizing mental health at workplace. And one of the most important barriers that is facing people in our country is the toxicity that they face at workplace. Now, what calls for toxicity? There are general sign symptoms which we need to be aware of, which might be going on around you, and these call for toxicity at workplace. Number one, if you are being constantly yelled at, criticized, or made to feel humiliated in front of others or in personal capacity. Number two, if you are constantly being discriminated, whether it is on the basis of your region, religion, gender, political affiliation, whatever it is, that again is a toxicity. Number three, if people around you are constantly gossiping, bad-mouthing each other, and not on friendly terms, that again calls for toxicity. Number four, if constantly you are under the threat that if you don't respond to this mail at odd hour, your job might not be safe, then that again calls for toxicity. Number five, if there is no clear demarcation of what your roles and responsibilities are and you are always left confused, then that again is a toxicity. And lastly, if it impedes your growth on an individual level, on a career level, on a professional level, then that workplace is not conducive for you and might be in fact very toxic for you.
How does one understand that this toxicity is impacting their physical and mental health? What are the markers?
Working in a toxic environment can not only be detrimental to our physical health but also to our mental health. It leads to feeling of isolation. This is the place where you are spending most of the time of your day when you are active and awake. And if this is a place where you constantly feel threatened, constantly feel humiliated, just imagine the impact it has on your mental health. You are much more likely to go into a state of depression, anxiety, sleeplessness, insomnia, which we call it in medical terms, and a host of other mental health problems. And this is clearly on the rise as we see it right now.
Please tell us, how can youngsters deal with this, especially when they can't afford to quit?
Now, some people will say that, if you're facing toxicity at workplace, it is better to quit it. But that may not always be the option. For some people, having a job and having the financial security is very important until a time comes when you have other options available for yourself or there is other safety net available. In that circumstances, it is important that you do not take all those things lying down. Make sure that you form supportive networks in the place that you're working, have friends, develop relations on a personal level with the people that you're working with, people around you, and also outside the workplace. Try and find if there can be a mentor figure who could guide you through this process. And at the same time, please make sure that you repeatedly keep appealing to the HR department that you're working in if the environment becomes toxic. If you appeal constantly, definitely there is a chance that some change may at least occur. But if you remain silent, then not just you, but a lot of other people around you might just keep on suffering. So please be vocal about it. Do not just accept it and face it lying down. Try and form support network. Remember, keep knocking on the door if you think that something is wrong.
It may be noted that EY India released a statement saying it remains committed to employees' well-being and called Anna's death tragic. That's all we have for you today. We will see you again tomorrow. Do mask up and stay safe.